Bum 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's not yet that part
Doom.
Doom, 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 doom. Bum, bum, bum.
yet. I'm looking through John Williams' filmography, and I do not see Star Wars, the Christmas special.
Well, sometimes you're busy and you can't come back to every Tom, Dick, and Lucas who wants you to do something for him.
For them. Good,
I don't know why I'm stuck in this voice, but it's what's happening.
Apparently, he did the music for the theme park section of Star Wars, the Galaxy's Edge in Disney.
Oh.
Huh.
There's only one theme in here. Okay, I'll listen to it, whatever.
Speaking of John Williams, hello everybody. Welcome to our
Oh,
our episode of
hi.
The Grand Slam. As you can tell, the chat
that.
transformed into a nice fiery place. We got nice jazzy Christmas music playing around, and of course I am here still, again, and lovely as always, Robin and Will. Or in this case, Robin with a Santa hat and a polar bear with a not branded soda, but he's wearing his hat on his butt.
Not branded soda. You can't come for us, Dusty Cola. It's non-branded.
God damn it.
But RC Cola.
All you know is that it's a soda, but you can't see the brand.
You can't sue us.
You can't sue us. You can't sue us, Jack.
Oh no, it's aggressive. It's aggressive. Joe,
What's my name, bitch? What is it? All right. None of that staying in. Edgar? Oh.
Gotta cut that whole little bar out.
We might be cutting that out. We might let it stay in. We don't know.
No.
If it's good and we leave it in and you guys like it, leave a comment that you liked it.
Mhm.
And if it's bad and we left it in and you didn't like it, shut the hell up. But maybe we cut it out so you don't even know what I'm talking about. All right, Edgar. So Robin's some kind of non copywritten soda.
Yes.
And
you are a
what am I?
You are a polar bear, and you're wearing a Santa hat on your polar bear butt. But you also, on your paw, you have a no branded soda. May look like a water, but it's a soda.
I've got the no branded soda. Well, what the hell does Rob have?
Just a hat.
Oh, well, fuck you, Robin. You don't get to be you don't get to have a nice refreshing non-branded soda.
You don't get to have a Will brand soda.
That's Will brand soda. It tastes like blood and it's crunchy, but it's carbonated and it's delicious. Oh
God.
on the moon. So Edgar.
Yes.
God, we have got to start this show. Edgar, what did we watch this week?
Well, we watched this week. A certain small thing happened recently that we haven't recorded, but we don't. It probably won't be released until probably after the show. Just getting some other stuff worked up. We'll show you guys very, very, very soon. But we all saw. Excuse me, I'm choking on chips.
What the fuck was that? That was a new sound.
Hey, Edgar, we're gonna let you deal with that problem. Robin, since Edgar's choking on chips, what did we watch this week? What did we do?
Well, I mean, I was just continuing on what Edgar was going to say, just adding to. We also watched that. Anyway, so we watched the Game Awards. We watched and recorded the Game Awards, and stuff happened.
Indeed.
Yeah, there were stuff. There were things. Mario, very interesting. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. But
we won't go into very specifics.
But I'm gonna say Mario.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go. Wah! That's just the sound he makes, and I'm almost certain that's the exact sound he makes.
I guess
that's Mario. He has a terrible smoker's cough. Robin?
What I guess we could talk about, because you can watch it on the video when it eventually gets put up.
Yeah.
We could just talk about the what won Game of the Year. Because I think that's the most thing that a lot of people are very like, what the hell about?
Yeah. Which in general, FYI guys, if you shouldn't be really mad at an award like this. None of us won the award. It's the person who won it. None of us should be mad. It's just a silly award.
As much as it's funny to see people putting that it was rigged or whatever, it's like, no, I mean, like, it would, like, this is what the fucking Academy ended up choosing. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like,
it's not rigged. It's not. If you're really upset about it, saying it's rigged, like, no, nothing of it is rigged. It's just an award. You shouldn't be so upset with an award. That's not. I know everyone's not like that, but it's just to those people, as you could say. But it's in the game that won was The Last of Us Part 2, which, on my personal opinion, I was kind of surprised and won it. I was really thinking it was either going to be Ghost of Tsushima, but that whole award show was more of it was basically like how Red Dead Redemption won everything, but instead of Last of Us 2 not being like, how do I say it? So Red Dead Redemption 2
instead it was like Red Dead Redemption 2 winning the award, like the Red Dead Redemption 2 awards, but instead of Red Dead Redemption 2 not winning, it did win Game of the Year.
Yeah.
There.
I'm gonna say in the words, these chips are delicious, sorry. But
okay. All I'm gonna say is that it was rigged. There was collusion. It was rigged. Ghost of Tsushima should have won.
Technically,
but it was rigged. The Last of Us won, and it wasn't even the last one. It was a second.
If it was
rigged with phony name for a big phony game. It was bad. But it also Ghost of Tsushima. It was the best.
If
I'm gonna take it to court, and I'm gonna win.
If it was solely made by, if it was solely voted by the people, they did have the People's Choice Award, which was for Game of the Year, which Ghost of Tsushima won.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if it was solely on that, then yeah, Ghost of Tsushima would have been the actual Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, how is that not really enough for people? Because it's like, all right, so it didn't win actual Game of the Year, but it chose the People's Choice of it. At least they actually showed what the people fully voted for, instead of being like, oh yeah, we're not going to show you that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all stupid. Kind of like, it's the same thing with the Academy Awards, where it's like, yeah, it's fun to watch them because then you get to see who wins them. But at the end of the day, it's like, who really gives a shit?
And the difference is with the Game Awards, like we generally just watch it for the reveals, game announcements, game reveals. They started off with one of the big ones. We're not going to show all of them because we have some in the video that I really want to save for. But like the obvious ones where they announced Xbox is making Perfect Dark, another one. That one was a pretty cool announcement. I've heard there's a lot of good there's some good like people who were like from Naughty Dog or from Santa Monica Studios who did God of War. Those people.
Yeah, because a lot of the people that left those were under crunch, specifically Naughty Dog. But that also brings up a good question though, because that is one criticism that a lot of people have for, and I kind of agree with this a little bit.
Which one?
That should Naughty Dog have won Game of the Year because they were under crunch culture type thing, because they implemented a lot of crunch for Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
and part of me is like, I don't think that should be something that should be like, you know, in a sense that's basically what you're kind of celebrating. It's like it's a game that went under crunch.
Yeah.
You're basically giving it the okay because it won an award.
I guess my ideal, like,
especially for game direction, which Last of Us 2 won.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wouldn't have given that. I do have a problem with. I wouldn't have given it to that because of crunch.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that. I go full hard where I'm like, companies shouldn't be doing like hour crunch to people. That's why I didn't really agree when Red Dead was winning a lot, because I'm like, they went through a lot of crunch hours. NetherRealm themselves too, and they won for Mortal Kombat 11.
And here's a big thing is that, and Will would probably find this kind of interesting and like getting pissed.
Don't you assume to know what I would find?
Well, it has to do with lack of. It has to do with lack of unions within the gaming industry.
Okay. Go on.
Because there's only very few unions in the gaming industry, and they need to make a lot more of it, because they need to make more unions for game designers or game companies that are within the United States, at least. Because I can't say for like CD Projekt Red, because their company's based in Poland. But places like the American Rockstar offices need to form a union. Same thing with Naughty Dog. Just any places that same thing with Bethesda, I would say. Speaking of God Howard, even Bethesda should be one place that they should have union. And like, I haven't read.
No, I control Bethesda. I control Skyrim.
Oh my god.
And we buy Skyrim. How did Skyrim do at the awards?
I don't know if it won anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't think Skyrim won.
God damn it! Well, there goes God. There goes for that. But no, I would say, because there's just been barely any unions being sprouted because of crunch culture. There we go. Hang on. So
there's been no unions because of the Nestle Crunch bars. You see, Nestle Crunch bars. It's the same. It's the same chocolate, and it's got a little bit of crunchy puffed rice in it.
So
that's the crunch.
Will, let me. Do you know about video game companies doing crunch?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for literally everything. I don't know about the crunch. They're like trying to save money by cutting costs?
No. What crunch is basically trying to have workers overwork for almost more than 100 hours a week. Even going past to the point where like they're staying there all day, all night, just to make the deadline to release a game. And yeah, no, you can see how there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that absolutely has no effect on how games run smoothly.
Cyberpunk.
Which we'll talk about.
I'm sorry. Well, we all know about God Howard. Praise be unto his name and praise be Skyrim.
Although, praise be unto him.
Praise be unto him.
Don't say Skyrim too loud. He could come back. But of course, then there's the other entity, the other Cyberpunk Devil. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen. I brought him on the show, Cyberpunk Devil.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for Cyberpunk Devil.
I know.
Oh, hi. How are you? It's me, Cyberpunk Devil.
Oh,
no.
I run everything in Cyberpunk. It works really well on the computer. But it doesn't work at all on console. It looks like a shit. Didn't tell you that during launch, did they?
wait, you sound very familiar. Weren't you the same devil that was also the Crunch? That was the. Oh God, what's another game that went under Crunch, Edgar? If you remember.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't really. I can't put it to work.
Oh God.
What does it rhyme with, Robin? I can't.
I'm not sure. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm actually having a really hard time remembering.
You
now I remember. It's you're related, or you sound exactly the same as the No Man's Sky devil.
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
Oh, so
This is my regular voice.
This is what I use when I want to scare children at night. And have them steal their parents' credit card to buy No Man's Sky, where you can't do anything.
so so we'll basically call you Crunch Devil then.
Crunch Devil.
I am Crunch Devil.
So like overall devil of
My
games that are
friends
under
call me
Crunch.
Crunch.
So, but I know that is a significant problem is with Crunch. I mean,
Yeah.
luckily with games like Cyberpunk 27 and with example of No Man's Sky, that it actually kind of got better over time with updates. But the only problem was that why wasn't it better?
Why wasn't it better in the
start?
first? Yeah, at the start.
Yeah, it only took No Man's Sky, what, like 2 years to
It
become a
took them-
playable game?
Yeah, it took them 2
I mean,
years.
it was
It's
like I guess the best examples were things like that was like No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk 2077, which is a very recent one, and Fallout 76. Those are the ones that I can think of right now. I know there's a lot more ones that were going through crunch and they just flopped.
And that's the thing that's kind of
Hey, Fallout 76 is kind of fun. I enjoy it.
it
but I
is
understand.
it is fun, but yeah, it's dealing with stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah, for me personally, I'm not too huge. I don't agree with them doing crunch times on their employees, especially how much they really don't. To me, if they do that, they need to pay them better, pay them more. But I feel like they're not even giving them jack shit.
They need to pay them better, and they need to give them They need to get rid of time windows.
Yeah,
because that's one. Like I get it. Like I understand. Like you don't want to have a game like lasting forever, and you want to have that time window of when you want it to be released. But at the same time, is it really worth having your workers losing sanity and their overall health mentally and sometimes physically?
Oh yeah.
God damn.
It's always worth it.
Get out of here, Crunch Demon! Get out of here, Crunch Demon!
That is God Howard.
Oh, never mind. My bad, God Howard.
I'm God Howard, and the crunch is always worth it.
But oh no.
And speaking of crunch, I hear you met my brother. Yeah, we're related.
Oh no! They're related.
Fallout 76 Totally my idea!
Oh god.
We need to kill the crunch. I like how this went. Excuse me. I like how this went from, simple game awards, to like talking about the crunch, which it does go to, or like overall like the thoughts of what's going on with Cyberpunk itself.
Overall, yeah, not with just Cyberpunk, but just with the Game Awards of like, should we be celebrating that?
Yeah.
Like giving them an award for doing that.
Yeah.
And another thing,
Ladies and gentlemen, here's an award to a company that exploited its workforce in order to get a game out on time. Hey! And everyone went, yeah! Yeah, fucking yeah! All right.
but to wrap up at least this part of the show,
Yeah.
they need, at least for the companies that are in the United States, they need to have unions for the workers. Because to add on, because sometimes when people are done with the game designers that they have, like the bigger companies, right after they're done with the video game, most of the time they fire them, and then they go to, they're put into the job market again, which fucking is terrible.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's kind of similar how Hollywood treats animators themselves, to the point where like they won't even give them credit at the end, which is like, no, they're the ones who bust their ass to make it look good. Same thing with the game designers; they're the ones who make it look good, but we just give credit to the big names in general.
It's like that's why I made that remark with when you were talking about Perfect Dark, and they had people from Last of Us Part 2 working out from Naughty Dog. I'm like, oh yeah, because they probably got fired after Last of Us Part 2. So, which really sucks that's how it is, and they need to. There's more unions coming out of it, but there need to be more of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the Game Awards. If you want to watch the highlights, Edgar will release a video of it eventually.
I'll have the video of our reaction to the Game Awards hopefully soon. Just working on some other stuff, But that's overall our thoughts on the Game Awards. But it was all right.
I got one final thought.
Yes.
And we've all said it. Man, the crunch.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck the crunch. Like,
It.
Hell yeah. Fuck the crunch.
fuck the crunch.
Give those game designers what they.
Bottom
Oh god.
crunch.
Alright.
But back onto the transition train. We're going to our another holiday film for this season that we all watched. Most of us all finished all of it, watching it. The movie called White Christmas. Robin, can you tell us a bit more about White Christmas? What is White Christmas?
White Christmas is a movie with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. And it's a musical.
And Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen. I mean,
Yeah.
Rosemary Clooney, huge.
And what a lot of people don't know is that Rosemary Clooney, and I'm sure Will knows this, Rosemary Clooney is the aunt of George Clooney.
I knew it.
Yes.
Yeah.
At first, I would have thought like it was his mom, like someone like his relative, but his aunt. Okay, nice.
But yeah, so it's about these two guys who just left from the military, and they become entertainers, and they meet these two women entertainers, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come to this lodge with us for Christmas, just to do stuff, and maybe we can do an act together?" And so they go to this lodge, and they build up this show, and eventually they find out that the general that they used to work for that they took orders from in the war happens to own the hotel.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we want to do this for our general because he's such a good man."
And also
that's
he's not making money at his hotel, the general.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the entire thing. And then it snows at the end. Because it never snows there in the winter, apparently, in Vermont, which doesn't make sense.
No, that's not the plot. It's that it didn't snow that year.
Hmm.
And it's like, hey, I bought this skiing lodge, and there's no snow, and I'm gonna be a pauper. And then it's like, oh man, that sure is rough.
This is
Let's
also
help the old man.
This director was the one who directed Casablanca and The Adventures of Robin Hood. Interesting. I will say this was my first time watching the film, and I didn't know it was a musical until they started saying, I'm like, oh, it's a musical. Because at first I thought
it was written by Irving Berlin.
Yeah.
Because I went through, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna look who like directed or written it, because I'm like, I've heard about it, just the name itself. And I went to it. When it first started, I honestly thought it was like, oh, is this a war movie? Like, is this like a Christmas war movie? But then like it transitioned, I'm like, oh, okay. It just goes to that.
Holy shit! Irving Berlin lived to be 101.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that. He was born in the Russian Empire and he died during he died during H.W. Bush's presidency.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's
Like-
insane.
So we need to also say that this was filmed in 1954.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff in here that's very like, ooh.
Yeah, things that put this film and some of the scenes of this film into the category of things that make you go, ooh. Because there's a part of the movie where there is reference made to a minstrel show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, in this particular movie, they don't actually do the full makeup and blackface for the minstrel show, but they call it the minstrel show, and you just and the whole that happens, and you just go, ooh.
Yeah.
And like you're waiting, and I was just like, okay, well, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye aren't in blackface, and the girls, like the two sisters aren't in blackface. Please don't let the curtain come up and like all of the background dancers are in blackface, and they aren't, thank God. But apparently, in Holiday Inn, there's a movie from 1942 called Holiday Inn, and this is like, Robin, would you call it like some kind of like a soft revamp of Holiday Inn? They sing White Christmas in it. I mean, it's like really, the movies are connected but different.
I think it's supposed to be a sequel, quote unquote. Like, it's like, oh, this is the holiday version of Holiday Inn. Like the Christmas version of Holiday Inn. I think that's like the best way I could put it, if that makes sense.
They're connected. I mean, Holiday Inn had a lot. It's a lot of the same. Anyway, but in Holiday Inn, which is not White Christmas, they actually have blackface minstrelsy, and it's like, ooh. And in this one, they decided, hey, you know what? Let's do the same bit, except let's not. Because it's 1954, and maybe we shouldn't do it anymore. And people went, probably a good idea. But like, there's some other than that scene, and there's a couple of others where it's kind of like, the movie's fine. I mean, it's got good singing. I mean, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye both are good singers, both good dancers. Well, Danny Kaye dances a little bit better than Bing, let's be honest. And you know, the Rosemary Clooney and Vera. I'm gonna call her Vera.
Yeah.
They both sing and dance wonderfully. Oh my God, the song they sing, like My Sister. That's fun, where they have the fans and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. And
when Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye do that,
that's hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
It's so, and you know what? So Robin and I, Robin and I had a conversation about not a full conversation, but we were talking about some of the scenes and some of the things that happened in the movie. And Robin says, "Yeah, it's really great. Danny Kaye's playing the whole movie straight." And I was like, "You mean like he's not the funny one? Because he is kind of the funny one." And he goes, "Well, no, he's playing a heterosexual role, even though Danny Kaye was gay." And I was like, Danny Kaye isn't gay. He had a wife and kids, and although I know that doesn't really mean anything, but like, you know, there's a lot of evidence against it." And he just kind of goes, "Huh, well, thought he was." And like, Danny, like there were rumors about like Danny Kaye, but like I think he was just slightly, like ever so slightly femme, but he was straight as can be. But he dances amazing and he's wonderful in this movie. But like when him and Bing Crosby like play the sisters for that quick lip sync, I was just like, yes, queen, fucking do it to it, be doing some rough drag, but they do a good job. It's fun. Also, I was watching the movie at 1.5 times speed because I didn't watch the movie early enough, and I didn't think I had enough time to watch it all. So like when they're doing that, the dance moves are hilarious because they're like real fast. It's fun. So if you've ever seen this movie, try watching it at 1.5 times speed. I recommend it. It's a fun time.
Yeah, I would say but I would echo the same thing as you. It was fine. I didn't really hate it, but I was enjoying it. There were points where I was like, that would have slide today. But I was like,
yeah.
But you know, I liked they did. It was some really good dancing. It was like I really liked what they were doing overall with it. It was a nice story. Would I really go back and watch it again?
No. I would. I could not get into this movie. Like, it's just, I'm very picky when it comes to musicals, and musical movies are are part of that same category. So I'm just like, I just could not get into it. And like, you know, I'm like, when watching it, I know it's like, okay, it's from 1954. There's gonna be some racy things in it. So
it's not that it's racy; it's that it's slightly racist.
Yeah, saying this
to quote Stephen Fry, it's better to be racy and sexy than racist and sexist. Okay, it's far better to be racy and sexy.
But like I said, like this was me saying it before I saw that scene, and I'm like, oh no, that's not no. I mean, it could be worse. They could be doing the makeup, but they're still calling it that.
They're not.
But they're still calling it that. And there was one time when I thought they were about to say one word that I told Will about, but they said Mandy.
Yeah. Thank God. And you really have to listen because it's 1954 and they were saying the word Mandy as in like Andy Griffith, but Mandy. So it was like, okay, that's fine. Oh God.
Oh boy.
Also, I'm gonna point this out. Everybody in this movie is white.
Yep.
Yes.
It's quite literally a white Christmas.
Yes.
Everybody's white.
Except there was
1954. So.
I was gonna say there is that one scene where they're all in the train and they're singing, and you see someone and like they're pouring drinks, and that's the only time you see someone that's not white.
Oh, good. Oh. The bartender's order.
That's the only time you see it. And I'm like, what?
Oh.
Oh my god, I just jumped to it. He's the only guy in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm like,
Oh, and it's quick. It's really quick. It's like 3 seconds.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And then we're just watching through it. I'm like, man, I mean, that's a lot of white people in this movie. Where's everyone else? I'm like, oh wait, this is 1954.
Yeah, it's 1954 in Hollywood and nobody's there. Oh god. But don't worry, Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby have a good time. Oh.
I guess
But like, how... This movie's got a bunch of weird shit in it. For example, like, the whole premise of, like, oh, the general, we have to, like, make him happy because he can't get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he was a 2-star general in the army. I'm pretty sure he could get a job kind of wherever he wants because...
Hell, he could have gotten your job in politics.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done anything. So I'm just saying, like, I'm sure there were some generals who, like, didn't get their fair shot or, like, whatever.
Mhm.
But, like, I'm pretty sure there's more of them that were like, nah, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I can pretty much just do whatever. Like, just, I'm fine. Like, I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way. And this, I'm not, like, insulting anyone who maybe after World War II didn't get a fair rub after they were a general and they came back and they were just like, oh well. Not saying that.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, Edgar, put out a fucking thing that's like, we're not trying to insult anybody, because we're not.
I'll put it on the screen right now.
There we go. See,
we go.
Read that. We're not insulting anybody. We're not doing politics. We're talking about a movie.
Yeah. So, and I don't really have much else to talk about the movie because that part just kind of like, one, I couldn't really get into it, so I was kind of like, all right, whatever, let's just move on with it.
Mm.
I'm trying to watch it, I just can't. And then the racist part happened. I'm just like, all right. None of the movie, nothing really else matters in the movie. Maybe for Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye with their funny stuff, but this part is fully taking center stage, and it is just like almost an eyesore because of what it is.
Oh,
also,
man.
Some fun little tropes in this movie. The, like, sheriff is this fat sheriff, and he's trying to arrest the girls because their landlord is, like, charging them for a rug that got damaged or something. I don't know. It's not important. It has almost nothing to do with anything. But there's like a 5-minute bit where this sheriff is just eating in the office, and he's just eating, and like free food. And the owner of the club's like, I don't want him to keep eating. And Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye are both like, well, just hold him off for a while, because we got to finish this thing and then we got to run. And he goes, yeah, but like, he's fat. Like, that's the joke. The joke's like he's eating. And the guy's not even that fat. Like, there's that fat joke, and there's one more fat joke later on when they get to the whole, like, oh, hey, it's the general, and let's have the show for the general, and everybody's in their old uniforms, and one of the privates in the army got fat 10 years later, and he goes, hey, this uniform don't fit so good, and I think it shrunk, and they go, well, your appetite didn't shrink, and it's like, it's a fat joke, womp womp, and I was like, that's good, it's a good joke. Also, this is the era of high-waisted pants. So, like, let's have a moment of silence for the era of high-waisted pants.
Yeah. We'll start right now.
Anyway, that was our moment of silence for high-waisted pants.
I guess we could give our overall thoughts. I'll start with Mr. Will. What were your overall thoughts, Will, and rating?
Okay. The movie's like fine. It's not. If you take out all of the things that make you go ooh, if you keep that out of your mind for a moment, the movie's fine. Like I'd maybe watch it again in next Christmas or the Christmas after, because like Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby and fucking Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen do a great job. Even some of the supporting cast members do a really good job. And it's kind of, fun and nice and all that. And they sing White Christmas and they sing a couple of other songs that are kind of nice. Is it the greatest Christmas movie ever? No. No, it just isn't. So I'm gonna give it I'll give it 2.5 stars because it was fine. The little racist moments bring it down. I'm gonna say that. So
yeah,
the score is not unaffected by the minstrel show.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. Yeah, just to echo what you guys were saying, it's like, for me personally, I'm like, it was okay. I mean, it's really iffy if I'll watch it or not. It's like if someone's like, "Oh, let's watch White Christmas," and I'll be like, "Okay, fine." They put it on the background, but yeah, it's something for me personally. Maybe I'll watch it again, but it's not. It's nothing that, like, for me, it's like, oh, it's the best Christmas movie out there. I'm like, no, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, but I would give it 2 stars. It's like kind of right in the middle. It's like, it's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's not great. It's just okay. That's 2 stars for me.
Mm-hmm.
Robin?
Well, I'll just say it straight. I'll give it 2 stars also. It just, I don't know. It just, because of the big thing is because of the racist thing of that one part. But it just, for me, I just could not really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to watch it. I know, like, this is one of my mom. It's not one of her favorite movies, but it's like she grew up watching this. Whereas with me, it's like I was kind of those people that grew up watching A Christmas Story. But
A Christmas Story? You mean like the one where he almost gets the BB gun?
Yeah, where he gets the BB gun. Yeah.
Well, Robin, if you watch that, you'll shoot your eye out.
I remember there's a couple times watching it, and there's a couple of like iffy moments in it. So it's like,
For me, I personally grew up with Home Alone, and then all the stop motion cartoons they made of Christmas.
I never watched Home Alone until I was in high school.
Really?
I never grew up on Home Alone.
Like, a fun fact, Home Alone is the only Macaulay Culkin film I've seen in English for the first time.
The only Macaulay Culkin. I never knew who Macaulay Culkin was for Home Alone. I only knew him for the Page Master.
Really?
Page Master, yo.
That's
Page Master, though. I bought that movie last year for $3.
Oh, damn.
DVD copy. Mwah, still good. Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg as the fairy tale book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have
dude.
Sir Patrick Stewart as Adventure Book, and the guy who voices Winnie the Pooh as the horror book.
I like how we knew the names of some of the people. We were just like, guy who voices Winnie the Pooh.
I don't remember his name.
I don't know his name. Hey, you there, people listening to this. If you know guy who voices Winnie the Pooh and he is also the horror story book in the Page Master, comment below.
Comment
because
below. Make sure to give it a like too.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look it up.
If you answer correctly in the next 5 seconds, our xenomorph that we bought a long time ago will prop the answer up on the bottom right corner. In 3, 2, you better hurry with that comment.
2.5.
There it is. There it is.
Right there. Thank you, Xenomorph. Thank you, Xenomorph.
Yes. Thank you.
But like,
Hello,
yeah,
my
like,
baby. Hello, my honey. Anyway,
but like,
welcome to the double.
No. After we got done talking about White Christmas, you're not going to bring that up.
Fuck that frog.
fuck that,
frog.
It's like, but yeah, like Pagemaster, Home Alone 2, Richie Rich. Only seen him in Spanish.
And so, anyway,
Was it like Ricardo Rich?
Ricardo Rich.
I'm not being insensitive. I'm actually asking because it's like Richie. That's not like, you know.
I don't really know if they ever said. It's been a while since I've seen him, but I do remember just like watching him in Spanish.
Ricardo Rich.
Oh my god.
But of course, we're not gonna end it there just yet. We got our untitled segment idea. So, without further ado,
Why are you being so scary?
Thanks for the
scary.
Thanks for the coffees, Xenomorph. Did you guys get coffees?
Yeah, I got my coffee.
Yeah.
You know how I take my coffee? I take it in little bitty cups and with a cream and a sugar. And I like just a little bit of cinnamon. Not a lot. I want a whisper of cinnamon. And one time the Xenomorph brought me some coffee that had a full-blown shout of cinnamon. Name the reference.
I'm trying to.
But you know,
the reference is Frasier.
Oh god. Well, hey, that's right. That's right. God damn it! I should have known that one.
Frasier. This one's for Stefan. Stefan will know. He'll know.
What did you get? What do you like in your coffee?
Me, I'm kind of like, I don't like that much sugar in my coffee. Sometimes I like it just, you know, just dry, just full on dry.
He likes to just eat. He likes to just eat coffee grounds. I like my coffee dry.
Dry. If it don't taste like sand, then get it out of my face.
I like to have a nice cup Colombian brew coffee with some whipped cream, a little bit of Italian cream, and just a tiny little bit of crack. Like I can't emphasize how small it is.
I only drink the best Colombian coffee avec some whipped cream.
A lot of people like to put espresso shots in theirs. I just put a tiny bit of crack in. Whoa, I am wired.
Okay, two things. You said espresso, and you can go fuck yourself. There's no X in espresso. Secondly, how much crack to coffee ratio? Because I imagine that's a fine line.
Like I'm telling you, it's powerful. Just a small amount, and it's like, whoa!
Just a soupçon of crack, and a nice slug of Colombian coffee, and we're out the door.
We're out to start the day.
Mr. Xenomorph, if you could please put out the cue card of we don't condone drug use.
Yeah, put it up right now. There we go. Thank you, Xenomorph.
There we go. There it is. Hey, look at the card. Do you see the card? Yeah. That's the card.
Now weed though, that's a different story.
Whoa! The card, Robin. The card. I'm pointing to the card. Hey, the card. All right, get out of here, Xenomorph. Get out of here, you little scamp. All right. Edgar.
Yes. Well, we'll start with Robin. What have you, Robin? Yes, you, Robin. What have you recently played, watched, seen, etc., etc., and etc., and etc.?
I finished watching this documentary series, a 4-episode documentary series on HBO Max called Heaven's Gate: The Cult of Cults, and it's about the cult Heaven's Gate and about the history of it and what happened until they did their final exit departure on March 20th, 1997, which I found out, and I'm like, oh shit, that was literally 11 days away from my birthday. I'm really glad they didn't do that literally on the day I was born. So, but I'd highly recommend it. If you somehow if you end up getting HBO Max eventually, I highly recommend it. It's by CNN Productions, so they usually have some pretty good documentary series. I know that Lori likes cult stuff too, so that's something I introduced her to watch. So I'm hoping she'll enjoy that. I'd give it, since I finished it, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a pretty good documentary. I highly recommend it.
Interesting.
So,
not bad. Nice. Will? What have you, Will? Yes, you, Will. What have you recently watched, seen, played, etc., 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 etc.?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. Well, GTA 5 got update.
oh yeah,
So, that's right.
I went on to Discord the other night, and I jumped in, and Robin and Stefan were in the Discord, and they were playing GTA 5, and I thought, oh, well, of course, because there's been the update. They must have just started. I'll hop in. And lo and behold, they were doing the mission, and they'd already done a mission. And I was like, oh, so you're just gonna ignore me? And let me just check my nails real quick. But apparently, I'm like chopped liver around this.
Oh my god!
And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe I'll forget to invite you to the garden party. So, you know. But anyway, so I started playing it, and there's this thing with a radio station in the game where they have a very limited, broadcasting area, and you can help them by turning on antennas. And I found one, so that's kind of fun. Also, I've been watching The West Wing on Netflix because December 24th is the last day to watch it on Netflix because it's going to be going away, which is kind of sad because I think The West Wing's been The West Wing has been on Netflix for quite a while, and I guess they're just losing it. So, anyway,
nice.
Edgar?
Me. Oh. What was that, Robin?
What the fuck is happening?
Robin, what?
Bruh.
Robin just bruh twice.
Yes.
What I've been recently doing is I've
Bruh.
oh dang. You okay, Robin?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything's fine here now. How are you?
How are you?
I'm a good.
Bang! That conversation wasn't going anywhere. Go on, Edgar, you gotta go.
I'm trying I'm trying. So I recently been starting to...
Edgar, you've gotta do your part.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Edgar.
So I've been, I got a little peaceful here. So I've been playing some God of War, the God of War 4, or the God of War New Trilogy, and I'm enjoying it. I really like the story of it. I like Kratos as dad, and I like his son Atreus. They're pretty cool, and it's like I like their chemistry. They're working together, father and son duo, and it's a pretty fun game. Because after I finished playing Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, I was like, you know what? Let me start playing some God of War, and so I started playing some God of War, and I'm in it. And I'm like, I'm enjoying it. Gameplay's not my favorite thing. It's good, but I kind of prefer the original God of War trilogy way of them fighting. But that's just me. Maybe it'll grow on me more later on. But so far, I'm enjoying the story. I really like the story, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it after I finish the game. Yeah.
Now, I have a question about the God of War series.
Yes.
Are they Greek?
It
Yes.
starts in Greek mythology, and then not reboot. It's a sequel.
Mhm.
The rebooted sequel back in 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
That's called God of War. Now he escaped Greek mythology, the Greek world, because he killed every god there, and now he's in Norse mythology.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's really good storyline.
Yeah. It all starts off with Kratos. He's burdened to wear the ashes of his past deceased wife and daughter on his skin. Hence why
because he's originally a Spartan, and he became a god by the gods or something like that.
Yeah.
And they became god. Of so
he became a god.
Okay.
Yeah. And in this new one, he's after God of War 3, he's now settled down. He met a woman, and he had a kid. Him and the kid aren't bonding that well, so the whole game is just like him trying to start to learn, train his kid, and him learning from his kid. Get a bond together, become a father and son duo. It's a
and we'll find out what happens in the sequel. Edgar hasn't gotten to that point, so I will not. Well, I've already told him the fucking secret ending anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
I've kind of played through some of it.
He retires and he opens a Euro stand and he sells he sells Kratos Euros, and they're delicious. He's got a secret in the sauce. See, he puts a little bit of
Norway.
Yeah, in all of Norway.
Yes.
And actually, the way he markets it, he goes, "Best Euros for 500 miles."
Nice.
That's and they don't even know what a mile is yet.
Yeah,
so people are like, "I don't even know what that is," and it's great. So, yeah.
Yeah. We done all the segment. We already at the end of the show. Just want to be like Robin, Will. Any last thoughts you want to say before we end the show?
Yeah. What? We have a time.
Yeah, but you know, since it's the last. Well, not the last. We're at the end. What I mean, I'm like, any you two have anything else to say before we end the show? Any last minute thoughts?
Well, I hope everybody has a lovely holiday season. I hope, you know, if you're getting together with people, you're being safe. I hope you're not getting in big crowds. You know, social distance. You know,
mail your gifts. Because that's all we can do right now. But we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Because Noasis and even Clayburg, I heard, are getting vaccines. So.
Oh, I just hope the light at the end of the tunnel isn't a train. Woo woo.
Let's hope it's not the light at the end of the tunnel, like they said during Vietnam.
With that note, thank you all for watching.
We're not ending it on that note. I hope your Yuletide is very gay and lovely, and there's lots of singing and dancing and a traditional Christmas tamale.
Hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and also Shelly Miscavige has not been seen since 2002 in public. And goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that goodness stuff. And you guys have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
There we go. We were waiting for Will to say goodbye.
Oh God.
Bye.